Hello and welcome. In this video, we are going to learn about narration. At the end of this video, you will know what a narration is, be able to identify narrations and their features, and lastly, learn how to read and answer narration passages and questions. This is James. He has always wanted to be an author and share his stories with the world. However, he is quite confused on how to go about starting out as a writer. He decided to talk to Mr. Fred, his English language teacher, about his struggle. Mr. Fred comes up with a brilliant idea: you can write a story in the school's magazine. That's a good place to start from. You can write about an incident you'll never forget. So, James set out to write a very interesting and captivating story that became the star of the school's magazine. The type of writing used by James is called narration. Narration reports events or tells a story. It can simply be referred to as telling a story in writing around a central point like an incident, event, or a person. It also can either be a fiction, that is, the character and events never existed, or non-fiction, that is, a story of real events. Narrations have the following features. They are characters and settings, literary techniques, chronological order, and then, the main idea or theme. The characters and setting give life to the narration. The characters are used to show the actions and conversations. Settings are used to show places where these actions take place. For example, the king is having a discussion with the queen in the palace. This shows that the king is the character while the palace is the setting. Another feature is literary technique. You will find writing styles in your narration, such as humor, similes, or metaphors. They make the story more exciting for the readers. An example: the king was red with anger, which means the king was very angry. Let's talk about chronological order. The events of the story are arranged in an organized manner. This means that they are narrated in the order of events. It should have an opening or introduction paragraph, linking paragraphs, and an ending paragraph. For example, Stanley was a poor farmer who lived in the remote village of Lagoon. He wanted to be rich at all cost, so he left his village in search of wealth and good fortune. This information begins a series of sentences that tells us about Stanley. Now to the main idea. Narrations have a central idea or theme in the story. While reading, it is important to take note of the main idea of the story. The story could be teaching morals such as honesty, perseverance, or integrity. It could also be highlighting the dangers in the society, such as drug abuse, internet fraud, or cultism. Now we know the features of a narration, it is important to know how to answer narration questions. First, read the first paragraph. It will introduce the character and the main idea of the writer. Second, it is advisable to read the questions of the narration passage first. This will give you a clue of what to look out for while reading the narration. Third, as interesting as narrations are, it is advised you stick to the main point of the writer. You should not bring your own knowledge into the narration. Furthermore, be on the lookout for literary techniques used in the narration. Also, it is important you know in what way they were used in the narration. As earlier mentioned, examples of such are metaphor, simile, and personification. Finally, take note of the paragraphs where the answer to the questions can be found. So we have come to the end of narration. In this video, you learned that narration reports events or tells a story. Also, you learned that the features of narration are characters and settings, literary techniques, chronological order, and main idea or theme. Lastly, we looked at tips to reading and answering narrations. We hope to see you in our next video. Thank you for watching.